painters and designers to a new level, because now we have Elijah, we have Bryan Vines, we have Chris Riley, and now I'm going to bring on someone, Hannah Goloski, and I'm sure I tortured your your last name. I'm guaranteeing it.
It's not going to be the first time.
She's actually in the aeronautics field. And
she's recording live from the lake.
Right,
she's in the lake, not in the aeronautics field.
So you brought the
lady of the lake
now, and just
swords.
Not that smart.
Well, Fred, you're the first one I'm going to boot out of here. So I mean,
that's fine. Don't worry.
The IQ level.
I'll have my go at you in another stream.
Bye, Fred.
No, I just wanted to give you guys a chance, because I know some of you guys don't stream together. So I just wanted to give everyone a chance to join on. Hannah, can you check your microphone? See if it's connecting.
Shane.
She's frozen.
I think you're frozen. I mean,
yeah. Wait.
With Excalibur.
Shane, me and Barrow, we are going to log off.
Okay.
So you guys have more space here. And so it was very fun to be with you all.
It was a pleasure having you again.
I to Ryan, I to Chris, and I to... Sorry?
It was very nice meeting you guys.
Elijah.
Yeah, it was great hanging out.
I'm going to go look at all of your little animals now.
Take care, Gonzalo and Barbara.
Bye, guys. Have fun.
Bye.
Have a good stream.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Printing Llama wants me to just go away. He's already saying bye, Fred.
Yeah. Llama.
Yeah. No, but actually, I am going.
There's the basement.
It had kind of a blue tint when we were first bringing him on, and I thought it was going to be like Chris's aquarium.
Well, I think he's still working out the microphone because normally his audio is much better.
Yeah, how is my audio today?
It's good.
There you are.
It's good.
Excellent. Hello,
It
everyone.
exists.
How are you?
Hey, Chris.
Hey, Chris. Thanks again for that help the other day. That really did help me out with my octo farming.
You are very welcome. It seems like it's just a list of things I run through, and sometimes I know who I'm helping, but while I'm punching through an email, I don't realize I know them. So it's an interesting experience.
It's always nice to be able to, and it's the funniest thing about the community is that you don't have to actually know somebody per se to reach out and say, hey man, can you help me out? And usually it's a good response, except when you ask Fred for help, he just gives you a hard time.
You just said, oh God.
Oh God.
Oh, wait, I got
and
that
the lady, the lake is
Oh,
back.
hey.
Got it covered.
A little
Have
side.
the correct, yeah.
Correct.
This one I can't show the
Zoom. I usually haven't used it, and then as soon as I plugged it in, it just blue screen.
Oh dear.
Hi, Hannah.
Hey, Hannah.
Hey. So sorry,
I
I'm
think
going
it's
to
time
leave.
for us to get out of here and let you
Yeah, I
guys
can't send
hang
Fred
out.
anymore for today.
And I feel like my IQ level is way too low to be in the presence of all these older guys. So
Yeah, we feel that too, Fred.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I know.
just go.
I love you all. I'll have my revenge with you guys later.
Nope,
Oh, you
we
don't.
are not streaming tonight, dude.
No, later.
So just
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
see ya.
Bye.
I'm gonna go too.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Have fun, people.
I'll see you guys in the
Elijah,
chat.
I hope
Thank
you
you
will
for
find
having
something
us.
great in the future that
Thank
you will be
Don't
working
ever
on.
cut your hair.
I'm definitely sure you're gonna do something great. And people, it was a pleasure to be in another stream. Chris, stay safe in that basement.
Thank you.
I'll do my best. You stay
Focus.
safe as well.
Finger is there,
Yeah.
but you don't see it.
Yeah, I don't.
Monkey.
It's it.
I'm going before you. Finally. See you. Everyone, bye-bye.
Ciao.
I'm going to run away next. I just wanted to say hey to Chris and Hannah, Elijah, and my good buddy, Mr. Bryan Vines. Thanks, Shane, for having us, and thanks again for putting up with us and starting this initiative again and getting everybody together just to hang out and socialize and have a good time and forget about everything that's going on there and just be here in the moment. So thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for including me. I'll see you guys later.
You're welcome.
Bye, Jordan.
Take care,
Bye.
Jordan.
Bye.
And I'm going to. So the other guys said.
Bye.
And bye, guys. Have fun.
We shall
see you.
try.
I'll go see you guys in the comments.
Enjoy the donuts.
Oh yeah, all the
Bye.
donuts.
Bye.
Well, how are you
Hi,
guys
Shane.
doing? Hi, guys.
Hey.
I'm okay. Is it okay if I drink water?
Are you sure it's water?
Yeah.
What does call it water?
Water.
Mm-hmm.
It actually is. It's an old family recipe. 2 parts hydrogen, 1 part oxygen.
Well, I already know someone who's going to be
No
asking
dad
about the
jokes in
show.
the comments.
Oh, because Mr. Vines is famous for his dad jokes and puns. He's like, oh, I'm sorry, we can't see the halo. You know, your head is too high up. It's blocking the halo. There you go. I can see it now. So how's everyone doing this lovely Saturday afternoon on the 1440 Social Makers?
It's still Saturday morning over here.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, I'm doing well. I hope you're doing well. Hope everyone's doing well.
I'm doing pretty well.
I'm doing fine.
Yeah, we are missing someone here. Mr. Happy Extruder, I need to go find him because
He's not going to burst into your place again, is he?
No, thank God.
He changed the lock.
Wait, I'm missing context. What happened?
Mr. Vines, go ahead. You can explain the story.
I didn't actually see it happen. I saw it after the fact.
There was gifts made of it, for the love of Pete.
I can verify. I was actually on the stream at the time that happened. So we're just talking. I don't know what was happening at the moment, but we're talking just like we are now. And then all of a sudden, you see Shane. He just jumps about a foot in the air, and like kind of turns back at the same time. Well, Ron had snuck in, and he didn't hear him come in the door.
Well, hold on. Only thing I hear is a deep voice saying, "Don't shoot, I don't have a gun." Not like, "Hey, it's me," or anything else. Like, "Don't shoot." That's the first words I hear, and I'm like ducking for cover. All right, so let's get that straight. You know, it wasn't like, "Hey, I'm here." You know, no.
Surprise!
It was entertaining either way. And speaking of entertaining, last time we did one of these, I was on with Vedran and Wexter the whole 2 hours, and there isn't 2 guys that are more entertaining than that together.
Oh yeah,
anywhere. They'll keep you rolling, and they're hilarious.
They're like the odd couple of designing, I guess you could call them.
Yeah.
It'd be great.
Now I have that theme song in my head from the 70s.
Yep. See, but Brian, you weren't here the last stream when I had there was 9 people. I'm like, "Oh, we're gonna sing the Brady Bunch song," and half
I was there.
Yes,
I helped sing it.
But then half of the other people are like, "Who are the Brady Bunch?" I'm like, "Shut up."
Elijah was one of them.
Yeah.
But I mean, okay, that's understandable.
Okay, it's an old show.
Way back when TVs were this by that and weighed 100 pounds.
Back in the day of the cathode ray tube.
And they didn't have remote controls. We had to get up and turn the channel.
No, they had remote controls. They were called the kids.
Yes,
hey,
exactly.
Change the channel. Go pick one of the other 2 channels that are available.
I'm having flashbacks of childhood.
Speaking of the last stream, I was pretty bummed. I missed being on the stream with Elijah by 30 minutes or something like that. And I'm a huge Mythbusters fan. I'm like the biggest Mythbusters fan. I've seen every episode probably 4,000 times. But I really appreciate the show and what you guys did. That was really awesome to see all the kids get together and build stuff. So.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I actually I didn't watch too much of it. Always looked like something I would be into, and I always knew of Mythbusters' existence. But surprisingly, I didn't watch too much Mythbusters before I was aware that I was getting on.
Huh. Well, that's pretty cool.
I saw my friends talking about it. I was like, "Oh yeah, I better get around to watching that." And then
I watch those shows, and I always think, how much do they actually let you work on the project, and then how much is TV the rest of it is just TV. Okay, we're going to do this segment. So I mean, is it actually you get to sit down and actually do a project how you would normally?
Kind of. I believe some of the time, yeah, I can't remember because it's a little bit foggy in my memory, which shouldn't be the case. But some of the time they'd have us like do the project and then sort of do it on camera. So like, it was weird. But yeah, it's a lot. It wasn't like set up. What I'm saying is, yeah, it's a lot how I'd normally do a project, but like just with a camera. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. It's not just set up
without
shot
all
for
the
shot. Right.
Yeah, if something messes up, you're not allowed to curse, basically.
Well, I'm out. No, very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, usually if I get something wrong, I'll just like, scream in anger.
Well, being around 3D printing as much as I am, there's a lot of anger. So.
Don't forget the rage and frustration.
Yeah. Wait. Speaking of 3D printing, I need a little bit of help. This might
right.
sound. But I have this KD200 which runs on this Horland board. But I have a question. The Arduino application on my computer that I'm using to flash the firmware over to the board, it just doesn't recognize that the board exists. And also, whenever I plugged in, there's supposed to be 2 LEDs that are supposed to like not be on until you start flashing the firmware, but they're constantly on. Do you have like any experience with this?
Which board is it?
It's here. I don't know what it's called. It's the one that came specifically with the KD200 3D printer. Let me look it up actually.
Well, you use the IDE when you flash, the Arduino IDE?
Huh?
Do you use the Arduino IDE when you flash?
What?
The white and blue program that you write.
Oh yeah, yes.
Yeah. Do you select 2560 when you flash it?
Yeah, I believe so. Hold on, let me open it up. See.
But I kind of have a fix-all for you because I almost 90% sure, I guarantee that you need a CH340 driver.
Okay, let me look at it. Where do I keep it located on my computer? Sorry, my computer's kind of slow. It takes forever to open Finder. Oh, there we go. Okay. All right, looking for everything under .ino. Sorry if this is taking a little bit. I'm just a little bit.
Oh, no worries, dude. Because you know what this means, fellas. That if I actually help Elijah with something, it's almost like I helped with a Mythbusters project. I'm going.
Exactly.
All right. Well, I guess.
Well, I heard Elijah say his Finder is taking a while to open, so that tells me that he's Mac based, like I am, and you are, like Chris said, you are most definitely probably going to need that CH340 driver.
Okay, so.
It's just a USB to serial driver because the USB port on the board is probably using that CH340 chip.
Okay, with spindle. Oh, there's a bunch of these. Okay. Horland.ino. Okay. Opening it up. Sorry, this is. Yeah, my desktop has recently become really laggy, and I don't know why that is. Oh, I have Minecraft open. I should probably close that.
Oops.
It'll do it every time.
It's not. Oh, okay, it's opening. Sorry. Yeah, I'm also trying to. This 3D printer's been sitting dormant on my desk for like a year or two, which probably shouldn't be the case. I feel like I need to get it up and running, especially with the fact that I need to print the face shields. I've printed a lot of them so far, but I feel like I could obviously print more efficiently if I use the Prusa and the KD2. Well, it's the KD204 now since I put the extruder and Z-axis motor in. Why isn't it? Okay. What did you say? Change the board or the driver?
Yeah. So if you're using a 2560 in boards, You'll have to go out and download a CH340 driver for that serial chip that's on the board.
So do I just? Oh, okay, man.
Yeah, just search the CH340 driver Mac or something like that, and if you have the board plugged in and you run through that program, which might be in Chinese, I don't know if I've ever seen one that was English. Just kind of click through, and it's going to come up and say CH340 installed, and then you should be able to talk to it again.
Okay, so Windows, Macintosh. Okay, Chinese. Wait, manufacturers. Okay, okay. I need to plug it in again. So let me find the cable.
While Elijah is plugging in the cable, I am going to bring in our extra person now. He is a very beloved person within the community and is well known for making things ridiculously larger than probably what they should be. Basically, yeah. So it is with my pleasure to introduce or to bring on board the one and only, the Mr. Happy Extruder, Ron. There you go. Oh my God, he's finally there. Ron's audio is connecting up. Hannah, did I mute your microphone or did you mute it?
I muted it just because I'm on like a stool and it's like squeaky. So if I'm not actually,
No, I'm sitting there like
noises.
Oh no, it's fine. I'm sitting like, did I press a button and mute her by accident?
No, it was me.
Ron, your audio is connecting, and just so you guys know, Ron has really bad internet, and so hopefully this will work out. We're just waiting for his audio to connect, and it's connected.
Hey everyone, how are we doing?
Hi, Ron.
Hi.
What's up,
How
Ron?
you doing? Hey, what's up, Chris, Anna, Brian, Elijah, and same old Shane. I didn't pop in and scare you this time, did I?
Yep. See, that was the thing. Everyone was waiting for that. You know. You should have just sat there and immediately right when your audio kicked in, you should have just been like, "Don't shoot! I don't have a gun." I would have just been like. All right, so the one and only Mr. Chris Riley is helping out Elijah get his board reflashed right now. Hannah is muting her microphone because of a squeaky chair.
Nope, I took it off mute.
Okay, Brian is going through dad joke withdrawals, and I think that's basically it for right now. The chat is all going crazy now because Ron's in there, and Ron hasn't normally streamed in some time. He's well known for his videos, but streaming is something that we're going to try to, boot him in the backside and get him going.
Yeah, we're gonna bump it up this time and get some more streams out there. We actually was working on something, me and Shane, right when all this happened, but hopefully we'll get that up and running pretty soon.
We'll get
That's
it
some
figured
exciting
out.
stuff.
Cool.
Yep. And it's going to be basically a live stream. See how many times Ron can scare the hell out of me.
So, Ron, do you still have your meter tall Ender 3?
Actually, I took it apart because I used I used some of those to actually. Let me see if I can move out the way here. Actually, to build the large Prusa one right here. So some of the
double wide.
Yeah, it's on there right now.
Wow.
And I still have. Let me see if I can do this without getting everybody dizzy. I still have the meter wide, meter tall Ender. CR10. So I'm in the process of getting that fixed right now. So
That makes me feel. I looked at buying one of those huge printers, and I'm kind of glad I didn't because it's way larger than I thought it was. Just looking at the site.
Wait, what? Uh-oh. Wait, am I restarting my computer?
If you install that, you probably don't have to. I haven't had to.
Everything is closing, so hold on.
Oh, if everything's closing, it's restarting. You probably click restart.
Well, I started off the stream with the blue screen of death. So as soon as I plugged my headset in, it was.
Yeah, okay. Zoom.us interrupted restart. I don't need to restart, or
you shouldn't.
I haven't had to. So,
okay,
go ahead and if the IDE closed, open it up again.
I just hit cancel.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. Arduino application closed. So let me grab it again.
So Ron, that extended CR10, that was the first one of those you did, right? The first tall one?
That's correct. That was the first build that I attempted to use the same printer and just order some parts and make it a little bit larger. I actually did a large Spider-Man bust on that. And that was the whole idea. I wanted to make large busts. And from there, I started to purchase some other printers that were a little bit larger, which let me do some, here's an example of the Artemis, CNC Artemis. I wanted to do large busts to display them in the theater room over here, which my wife quickly shot that down. She saw how large the prints were getting. But yeah, that was the original idea. And then from there, I went and started. And then I did the Ender 4, which is a kind of a Core XY type. And I extended that too. I think you can see that right over there. So that's 1 meter tall with the same build volume.
So when you do the double wides, how do you get the bed that wide? You're replacing the bed, or are you kind of bolting 2 beds together somehow?
Actually, I take 2 beds and I order an additional bed and I just put them together. Sometimes I have to separate them a little bit. And when I put the sheet down, I usually use acrylic or I might use a heated bed. But I find the acrylic on the larger beds works fine.
Okay. So what are you working on there, Chris?
Oh, I've been creating some parts. In the 3D printing world, if you watch YouTube or see anybody building anything, you know that Big Tree Tech, everything is exploding because it's at quite the price point. But there's not a ton of 3D printed bezels and cases and stuff like that for some of their parts. So I'm trying to design one that will fit on a couple of different types of machines, but I've been struggling a bit because I'm trying to figure it out for a couple of different styles. Right now I'm working on the rip wrap style, but I'm just dry fitting some parts right now, trying to figure out if they're going to work. So.
Okay.
The form factor on those boards, it's just enough different to make you change everything. So.
I put one of the SKR mini, I think the 1.3 boards in my Ender 3 Pro, and I put the TFT 32 E3 or whatever, the little Ender 3 specific one where they move the knob to the right place.
Yeah.
And that's kind of neat.
What do you think of that mini board?
There was one, the board itself seems fine. There was one screw position that there were some components that were a little bit too close to the screw for my liking. And it didn't really want to power on the first time. So I pulled that screw out because I was afraid it was shorting something. So there are still 3 screws holding the board on and it seems fine. It's a little bit of a tight fit up against the front of the case though.
Yeah.
The micro SD card slot seems to be sticking out like 0.5 millimeter too far to really get the screw holes to line up. But while I had it apart, I put ferrules on all the power connectors and stuff like that because the Reality ones were kind of they had tinned the tips on them and then crimped them down on those terminal blocks.
Right.
So I've got a ferrule crimping kit, so I put ferrules on them, which is nice.
But functioning print wise, you don't have any issues?
No, I'm printing on it right now. I kind of like using the LCD in the 128/64 emulation mode.
Yep.
Because I'm more familiar with it.
Yeah. So anybody that doesn't know, I'm a mainframe system programmer. That's what I do for a living, and so I use the green screen all the time. The old school terminal, and I prefer it. So when I got one of those touchscreen boards, the touchscreen was cool. I could click on the buttons, but it also emulated the old riprap screen, but it did it in that green, that terminal green, and I'm sold. I'm going to take this board that does all this.
You can change it too. There's like 7 different colors you can pick for that emulation.
It was just it was perfect that it came in green at the beginning because this is where I live. This is green, But,
yeah, the default is green. I like it.
But it's funny. It's funny that it does that. I enjoy the emulated old school more than I do the touchscreen. But
One thing that I would like to be able to do, and I don't know how to do that on that board, is remove the little line of green text at the top that says that it's in 128/64 emulation mode.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
That kind of detracts from it.
It does a little bit. We'll have to see if we can figure that out.
So Elijah, how's it going? How's it going?
Okay, my computer just unfroze. I don't know why everything's going so slowly. I don't have that many. Okay, my computer's still frozen. It's compiling the sketch now. I'm just verifying.
Okay.
I was
driver, huh?
Oh no, I was looking at your video and I'm like, okay, he has to blink in the next 5 seconds or his screen just completely froze.
Wait, am I frozen on your side too?
You were for like 5 or 10 seconds.
Okay.
But you're fine now.
I don't know why I can't do anything. Oh, okay. No, the things I just did are okay. It's working again. So I just uploaded again with the I'm using the board that I'm being told to use, or at least most people were telling me to use, was the Arduino Mega 2560.
Yep. So just hit upload again. Let's see if it will actually connect and not throw you an error.
Yeah, I'm supposed to short these two pins while it's uploading, so I did that with
okay.
Yeah, wire. I'm just waiting for it to. It's taking forever. It's just this compiling sketch, and the bar's not even halfway there, so it might take a while.
I've been having all kinds of weird computer issues during the kind of like extended shutdown. I think just because I'm using my computer so much more, like, and the hard drive is pretty full. So whenever I go to use Zoom or any of these things, there's like about a 50% chance of just like crashes.
Oh, the weirdest thing has started happening on my grandpa's computer, which I host a Minecraft server, but I host it from my home computer on an iMac, and it takes up a lot of space. I don't know if that's what's causing this issue. Sorry, well, can you see?
I see, yeah.
On the
yeah, that's about what my work MacBook looks like.
It's forgetting how to display anything. What's going on with that?
I've been trying to clean up the, I have a Mac as well. I've been trying to clean up my desktop because I know it has to redraw all those icons on it.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So they say it's good to clean it up and, you know,
yeah, you can
around
turn off the feature that actually draws a document preview of everything, and that'll help it some.
Oh, okay.
I occasionally go through and I just make a folder called desktop stuff, and I select everything on the desktop and drag it into that folder.
That's what I did.
And then over the course of time, I end up with desktop stuff folders nested within desktop stuff folders, nested within desktop stuff folders.
That's what I do with my work computer. Whenever IT comes over to look at it, I'm like, oh shit, there's 200 icons on my desktop, drag drop into like some folder. But my personal computer is clean. It's just, it's so full of photography stuff that takes up so much space that it just...
I'll be on my laptop. I usually store a lot of things on my desktop just so I can like easily access them. You know, I can just drag like the Premiere window back and drag it in. But that leads me, if I'm working on a project in Premiere for an extended period of time and I have to close Premiere at any point, I don't want to have to relocate the files if I move them. So I just leave them on my desktop.
Yeah, I did a mistake of putting in the search field STL, and that was a mistake because it just scrolled and scrolled and scrolled.
I might have to move all my STL files over to my secondary hard drive.
Date them by month. The month you downloaded them. Makes life easier.
There you go. That's a good tip.
I got
actually.
that sometime in July of 2018. Let me go see if I can find that.
Yeah. Well, you probably have a picture of it on your phone when you printed it out, right? You can line it up.
Sometimes I do. You know, sometimes I go back looking for photos and I can't find those either. It's like, I know it was around this time frame, but it's not there.
I mean, it's cool. Mac draws you out the actual image of the STL. Makes things easy.
Yeah.
But when you have so many.
Yeah. But all of my computers are vast wastelands of STL files that I have no idea what they were for at the time. You know, and 90% of them are different compiled benchies, you know, with different settings. So
I've got some files stored on one of my Octoprint Raspberry Pis that are from like 2 or 3 years ago, which is kind of funny to me. It's like, I'm never going to print that file again. Why haven't I deleted it yet?
Yeah, I found an Octoprint build that was like almost 4 years old on an SD card. It was, I don't remember what version it was, but it was way back when. I know it will never work, but yeah, I abandoned my SD cards too. So I'm not very good at data management if you're kind of getting the trend.
I'm not good at real life management.
Oh, join the club.
Don't worry,
normal.
neither am I.
That's normal.
A whole different story.
Yeah.
So
When my
you're a
work,
maker.
when my work migrated to Office 365, they went through and they like inventoried everything that had to be migrated, and they were like, Hannah, you're by far the biggest user of storage space here. That's not even close. It's like a factor of 10. What is all this stuff? And I was like, it's my stuff. I need 200 gigabytes of old photos and videos of like random events and stuff.
It's like, no, we're
Like,
not
you need to get rid of
migrating
some
that
of
to
this stuff. I was
OneCloud.
like, yeah, I can't. There's all this stuff.
Uh-oh.
That actually happened to me when they were migrating, and they said, your Excel games are not getting ported over. Okay.
Everything is crashing.
Basically, I just set up like an extra server, and I set up like, I found a way to just distribute the stuff. Some of it went on an archive server, but I was like, I'm not getting rid of stuff now.
Your coworkers are like, did you add a folder? I'm like, no, not me.
I'm just starting the Office 365 migration journey. That's going to be fun.
It can take a while. I spent about 6 months with the work computer that was doing exactly what my personal computer was doing when I tried to connect to Zoom.
Everything keeps freezing.
Most of my users are supposed to be putting their stuff on a server, but there are some that have, hundreds of gigs of stuff sitting on their desktops. So that stuff can stay there. They can drag it into OneDrive as they see fit, but the stuff that's on the servers is going to have to get migrated up. And then migrating the email is fun. I've got a test migration going for my mailbox, and that's only like 7 gigs of stuff. I've got users that have 100 gigs of mail.
Wow.
You know why? Because they never get rid of it. They've got email back 15 years.
I mean, I'm sure I've got stuff going back at least 3 or 4 years. The last time my user account just blew up for whatever reason.
Sometimes I get scared to delete things because I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
what if I need this in the future? But if I need it in the future, I'm just going to re-download it.
Well, a lot of times they keep the email just as a CYA measure. So if someone comes back later and says, you never told me, it's like, yeah, I did. And here's the email that you sent me, and here's the reply from 2003. I told you that.
And I remembered. Hold on, I'm getting kind of sidetracked just with some scheduling stuff. Guys, give me 5 minutes to talk amongst yourselves.
Definitely.
I need to find some old school Saturday Night Live coffee time topics and just put those in there. Talk amongst yourselves.
Am I frozen on yours?
Good times.
Yes, you are.
Okay.
Either that or you just never blink.
He is a really good ventriloquist.
Exactly.
Is frozen looking off to the side of the
He's looking at me.
He's got like the profile view on my screen.
Reviewing Elijah's profile.
Speaking of upgrades, I'm glad Chris came out with his SKR video because I recently picked up a couple of boxes, and I'm gonna get ready to convert. Yeah, I was surprised when I opened it. I didn't know I didn't know that was part of a thing of them. They put that rubber ducky in there. I was like, why everybody's always showing these rubber duckies? Sure enough, they're in the box.
Yeah, I had forgotten about that, and then I got one, and I've got it right here. If you squeeze it hard enough, it'll squeak.
Yeah, if I do that, I have a Weimaraner and a small multi-pool running towards the door right now.
Sorry.
No, I got the headset. I said, I'm going to play it safe this time.
Yeah. So my wife has commandeered all of the duck collection because I have like 30. And,
Wow.
and they're all around. She's got a china cabinet with they're all around the ledge. They completely cover it. It's pretty entertaining.
Wait, rubber ducks?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait. This might not work. It's more of a visual gag, but my webcam will probably. Hold on. I'll be right back.
Hey, Chris, do you need any more benchies? I've got a whole bunch of benchies.
I got benchies that Chris sent me. They over here in the shop.
I was gonna say I'll send you some, and then you'll have a lot more.
Yeah.
I've actually never printed a benchy. Like I always do the calibration cat, and I do like the little Bitcoin to calibrate.
Yay, Calicats.
Oh, cute! I have a whole bunch of them now.
I have a ton of Calicats. Calicats I print a lot of. XYZ cubes I print a lot of, and benchies I print not as many, but still a lot of.
Yeah, I pulled the old. Well, I have a CR10. I have bought two of them. One I converted to the 1 meter to a 1 meter wide, and the other one I had up in the closet for a while. So let me take it down, and I tightened up the belts and everything, and printed a nice calibration. Came out pretty nice. So I've been doing these more often now than the benchy. I did a whole bunch of benchies, but then again, I gave them away at the shows and the events. The kids, here's a benchy, here's a benchy. Sometimes they turn it over and it has the name of the printer. It might say CR10 Ender 3, and they go, "What is this?" Don't disregard that.
All of my benchies have notes on the bottom that I can't even read. So,
they made sense at the time.
Yeah, I scribbled something on there. Not sure what that is, but I'll hand people benchies, and they're like, "Oh, is this your signature?" I'm like, "Sure is." I have no idea what it is.
Say, well, it's my signature print.
Yeah, there you go. Me and Daniel Noré.
Oh, I was looking for some. I've got some of them where I'm doing different tests in the slicer and trying to get things tuned, and I'll have a little notepad page that I've got, like 1, 2, 3, 4 written down on with the settings that I was using, and then I'll have on the benchy, I'll have like a 1 or a 2 or a 3 written on the bottom of it. So without both of those pieces of information, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, so I tried to get, at one point, I tried to get really organized when I was doing slicer tuning, because this is nonsense. I've just got them lined up, trying to figure out which one's which, and I'm trying to write something on them, but if you're doing 3 or 4 machines at a time, this gets really chaotic.
Yeah.
So I made a benchy tray that I could put masking tape underneath the line that would hold them, and then I'd have a rubber band that would hold the benchy down to the tray, and it worked. And it was a pretty good workflow. I could put it on there, I could write it down, but then I abandoned it and stopped using it. I don't know why, but so I'm back to the chaos method again of just benchy stacked everywhere. So it's hard. Cubes would be better, because they're actually functional. You could line them up a little bit, but the cube doesn't really tell me as much as the benchy does. Plus, I've just seen so many of them; they're hard to get away from. Yeah.
I was doing some slicer tuning earlier, and I went from this on my retraction and got it down to that, which was good. And I just had a little row of these, and I took that particular model and I trimmed a little bit off the base of it so that it didn't take as long to print, and I cut about half the length of the top of it off, so it's it only takes about 11 minutes to print one instead of 20. And then so the net result was this on an Ada Linda or an Aria to this. So yay.
What? Adobe Creative Cloud is needed to resolve this problem. However, it is missing or damaged. Please download. What? I closed Discord, and for some reason Adobe Creative Cloud is now needed to resolve a problem. And I can't click the notification thing, and I'm still frozen, and everything's going wrong.
When you cross the clouds.
Yeah, don't cross the clouds.
Don't cross the clouds, Egon.
I'm closing everything. I'm trying to figure out what's causing all of this.
Marcus Adams in chat is telling me to hang a plastic spider off of the one with all the webs.
I was going to say, Shane's telling us something, but he was muted.
Yeah, because I'm so smart. Did you see early on with Fred? He had a little diorama of Godzilla, and there was 2 benchies in front of it. And I'm just sitting there, I'm like, you need to get that to Chris Riley.
I need that now. Yeah.
Yes, right now, because he can just add 100 more benchies to that. And real quick, a question from the infamous Mr. Frenzy, who will be on much later on. Happy Extruder, with all the maxing printer projects you have done, if you could only keep one of your current project printers, which would it be and why?
Well, I would say off the bat it would be the Ender 4 cube style printer. I like the fact that it came out well, and keeping the existing bed dimensions, everything printed out fairly good. And the fact that I went a meter tall, I actually did the stock to the Mandalorian rifle in one piece. I had Rob Bowser sent me the file in one piece instead of split up, and I was able to print it in one shot. So that printer, as far as the build wise, I ain't had to do too much, and it works great. So I think the Ender 5 is going to be the same thing, but this time I'm going to extend the Ender 5 bed to like a S5 size. So, and a meter tall. So that's the next project. And it's also going to get the exo slides that Giles sent me a pack, the conversion kit, that's going to have it on it as well. So, yeah, because the gantries, the bigger you get on these CR10s, the more they sway, and it just happens. And if you're going to put braces on everything, you might as well end up with a cube.
Right.
This might be a dead topic, but now that my camera's unfrozen, you're talking about rubber ducks or oh, wait, did I cut someone off?
No, you're on. You're
Go
on.
ahead.
Wow.
You're gonna make someone's day.
Wow.
It's like a clown car.
Wow.
This is a bad idea.
Oh, that's great.
I might as well bring that up. I have a lot more. Every time I go to a movie theater or pretty much any place that might look like they will have some kind of arcade, they always have like the claw machines.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But there's always this one specific one. It has a bunch of ducks in it, and it's always you're guaranteed to get a duck. You put $1 in the machine, it does not stop until it senses a duck has gone down. So I always do it.
So it's a buck a duck.
You're paying $1 for like a 2-cent rubber duck, but it's still
worth it.
Yeah.
Yep. Nice.
Yeah, Brian.
And those machines have stepper motors and everything, so we're cheating.
Don't you love the claws on those things? They just kind of ineffectually grab or something like,
oh.
I've never won a claw machine game, so I quit playing after I read that they're just like controlled by like a computer program that like doesn't let you win.
They only close with a 30mm gap. So
yeah.
The only exception is when I've gone to like Dave & Buster's or something, and they have tons of those games, and like you kind of just can't get away from losing because that's the whole point of going there.
Way back when I was in the Navy, I was stationed in Japan. The base that I was in had the largest military club, and one floor it was all gambling machines, and the club was open up to the public. And you go in there and everything else, you see these little old Japanese women just hanging around. You're just looking, trying to figure out what's going on. They would sit there. They would memorize the patterns of the slot machines. They knew when that machine would hit. And if you were just like messing around, not paying attention, they would just jump in right in front of you and hit that handle real quick and hit it for all the money. You're like, what's that? And it's like some little old grandma, and you're like, well, I can't get mad at you because you're 80 years old, but that was mine. Yeah, that was fun. Get dissed by an 80-year-old woman who's better than me. I got a question for Hannah. When you were on last time, you just got a Ender 3 and you were just kind of getting into everything, correct? How is your journey so far?
Yeah, I think actually I hadn't gotten it yet, but I just got it like a couple weeks ago, and kind of before all this like coronavirus stuff hit, right as it was kind of shutting down. Yeah, it's been going really well. Actually, on this chair over here, I kind of put up a bunch of the stuff that I printed with it, which is like way better than the stuff I could print on my old kind of like no-name printer. Like I made a bunch of these like cubes. I made a couple of these lamps. I don't have the LEDs in them right now because it's just.
I remember seeing those on Twitter.
Yeah, I made a whole bunch of these. I'm kind of just printing, and then depending on how things go, either going to ship some of it to friends and family, or I'm just gonna. Like I made this. This is supposed to be the like in the reeds base. I just couldn't get it to actually complete. Like every single time I would print this high and then I would just stop. So I don't know if there's an issue with the G code or what. Whichever one ends up looking the best, I'm gonna give it to my mom for Mother's Day. So you know, I don't know, just kind of trying to do more of these like projects that are a little bit more, I think, aesthetic instead of just like stuff that, you know, it's like fun to print and then it's clutter.
More practical print.
I've been putting like stuff that I need in these little bins. I'm gonna do more of them that are bigger too, I think. So yeah, I try to get some nicer films too, and so not as much just like really cheap like PLA that's just like white or, you know, something boring.
I will be right back. I'm going to go get some coffee. I like that coffee idea.
Coffee.
You see a cup of coffee is like yawning.
I
It's
just realized
contagious.
it's Taco and not NASA.
It's all Hannah's fault.
Well, I've been averaging about 50-50 instant coffee versus like real like Starbucks brewed coffee during this adventure, because like admittedly sometimes there's just like times where I just want one cup of coffee and not like, you know, I have a coffee maker, but it's hard to actually get the quality right when you're doing like a small amount or like a really big amount. It seems like it does okay if you're in the middle and you're just making a few cups of coffee, but if you're trying to make just one, it seems like it just comes out like gross. So
Yeah, that happens to me. The rule is I try to make 2 cups of coffee so it can come out just right. If I try to just do the one, it does not come out right.
no, so some of the time during the shutdown, just to like keep stuff conserved, I've just been like instant coffee, stir stick. Like I'm back in college or something. Because of course, normally I'm at work in my office way more, and then I just, you know, there's coffee. I just pick it.
When I go into the office, it's there. I always drink way too much coffee. Here, I can kind of limit myself. You know, like I'll just have a couple. But now it's something to do. It's an excuse to walk to someplace and not be at your desk. So, yeah, I really can't control myself.
I just feel way more tired without people to interact with. Like, it's like very, you know, there's not people constantly like saying, hey, do you want to come into this meeting? Or like, you know, there's just nothing. It's very unstimulating, you know? So I find that I just drink way more coffee in general, working by myself.
I lose track of time really bad, and I used to work from home a couple of days a week before all of this, but now that it's just, you know, endless, I don't know what time it is. I'll get up at 7:30 or whatever and start working, and then I turn around and it's 5 o'clock. You know, it's just like the day just flies.
It's the same with me, and I find that I'm also working way later in the evening than normal, because like normally my coworkers, like they are all gone by 4:30. You know, there's a few diehards that stick it out until 5:30. I'm usually one of them, but like for the most part, people start filtering out the door 4:30, and that's, you don't hear anything from anyone until next day. Now it's just like every day there's calls that are still going until like 6, 7 o'clock, and people are still responding to emails and asking for stuff until 8 or 9 at night, and you know, it's like very different.
Yep, that seems to be about the same for me. So.
Yep.
Hold on, Elijah, how's it going over there?
I mean, it's it's going fine, I guess. I've just been thinking about like the quarantine. You guys are all saying how it's affecting you, and I'm just, the most it's affected me is I can't say that I left my homework at home now. So
The dog ate it. Really? I seen the dog last night. It didn't eat your homework. I fed the dog. I know what it ate.
Elijah, that's got to be really weird because, like, I've heard, of course, like, most of what I've heard from people about school is from, like, people I work with that have kids or something, and they're all, like, tearing their hair out trying to get their kids that are, like, 7 or 8 years old or something to, like, do all this, like, virtual homework and stuff. Or are you finding it to be, like, comparable to being in school, or what's your kind of, like, opinion?
my opinion on how like virtual school's going.
Yes.
Well, I go to PCS, which is a private school for people in like performing arts, and they make it so that if you go out, then you can go on some, like, if you're going on a professional trip anywhere, you can go on like a virtual learning thing, which turned out to be really handy this year, because now everyone's basically on that on like a virtual learning schedule. So they seem to be handling it pretty well. I guess the most stressful part is you'll assignments due like at 2 o'clock, other than just handed in before you leave the school. So
yeah. That was part of why I hated the big lecture hall classes in college, because I started college in 2008, graduated 2012, and I found that our big lecture hall classes, especially by the time I was done, had really drifted toward that kind of system where it's like online homework submission, like deadline is the deadline, and that's a hard cutoff, and I found that tricky to navigate too.
I actually just remembered one of the stories my friends told me about his virtual schooling. He goes to a different school than I do, but his teacher wasn't really like technology oriented exactly, so he set up a Google Classroom for everyone to join. But I think he made it with his normal account, not his school email account, and I think they have it set up so that school email accounts can't interact with, not like, if it's at whatever, let's say they were going to, let's just call this, you know what I mean, like at a certain domain, they can't join at gmail.com Google Classroom. I think they set it up like that, and the teacher was yelling at the students just like, no, you're doing it wrong, click the link, and all of the students just couldn't join. So.
Yeah, I've seen weird stuff like that with my coworkers, and like we are using Zoom a ton too right now. We have Teams as well, but Zoom seems like when we have really big calls and things like that with like 50, 60, 100, like yesterday we had one with 390 people. And
wow.
There's been some weird stuff with that too, because there's people like me that had already used Zoom for stuff outside of work. So we have like an existing Zoom account that's like not our work email and things like that. And then sometimes you see people like pop on that are like, Danielle 22 has joined your call or whatever.
There's a guy here.
My boss joins Zoom calls, and his name on the calls is the meeting password for some meeting that he tried to join like a month ago.
Oh, wow. There's a guy here locally. He put out an ad. He will photobomb or Zoom bomb your meeting with his farmyard animals for a fee.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah, so only in Florida.
I just I forgot about something. You know how my sweater's green, and so it kind of acts as a green screen?
Oh, you got to do that.
Oh, wow. You got some green stuff in the background, too.
Yeah. I can make it a video, which is interesting.
Oh, man. Now you're going to have Happy over there in his next video have a full green screen, lighting effects, everything.
I actually took this photo in Lombardy just before all this stuff. I was there over Christmas break, and yeah, hey. No one's going there. Not anytime soon.
I tried to. Huh? Go ahead.
Oh, my family was about to plan a trip to Japan, I think.
Minecraft.
Soon.
I like that Minecraft
jacket.
And you're wondering why your computer's crashing.
No, it's not.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I closed Chrome and then I just restarted the camera and everything was working fine. But my family's actually going to plan a trip to Japan around now. which I don't think would have been the greatest idea if we went through with that. It would have been a cheap flight.
That is true.
My sister Kate had just moved to San Francisco, like, kind of late in 2019, and had just kind of gotten settled in and stuff, and I was planning to visit in March, and obviously that didn't happen with all this craziness. They were on full shelter in place about the time I was planning to go.
Can I get the dismembered corpse of what I was working on last time I was on?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, last time I was filing something down when I was
Dismembered bodies are always good.
As long as it's not an actual.
Where else can you be where you get that type of question? This is real entertainment, people.
Oh, Brian, that looks really nice.
Yeah, I took that desktop trash can that I had designed a while back and printed it in base mode.
Nice.
Like big. It's
is
bigger than like the
posted
regular
somewhere,
trash
like
can in the
STL?
room. Yeah, it's up on Thingiverse.
Cool.
Great. This is
But it's big.
Oh,
Yes.
The Grand Poobah.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's like the gift of the funeral pallbearers.
this is what I was working on before. This is what I was filing down so I could fit a wheel into here. But the problem was this was what this was supposed to be, sort of. But let me get the wheel actually. Hold on. Might be
Okay, the Minecraft thing is messing me up now.
Even his filament, I think, in the background.
Yeah.
Okay, so it would have a wheel. They would have two wheels here, and then two like gearbox motors here. And the only problem would be it would be sort of like slanted like this, and these wheels are really big. So whenever it tried to turn, it would like do it at such a low angle, I couldn't do anything. Like I could essentially just drive straight, and if I tried to turn, it would turn like this. It wouldn't.
Yeah,
It
it
just,
couldn't put enough torque on it to turn that caster.
my brain just wasn't working when I designed this. So I went with a different design and just went with 4 gearbox motors instead of 2. So yeah. I also got around rack and pinion turning by just using tank turning instead, but
That's the great thing about
Huh?
that's the great thing about the discovery, the iterations of,
oh yeah.
everything, and finally getting something that works.
It's like instant gratification when you get something that actually works too, because you see it moving, you're like, I did that. That's the thing that I came out of my mind and smacked onto the pavement of wood, I guess.
Hey Elijah, someone suggested that you take a screenshot of your room without you in the frame, and then let that be the background. You just be a floating disembodied head.
Inception.
How do I?
And that, Rod, I totally agree that iterative design, being able to go through all the different versions with 3D printing, that is the best. But I don't know, people that do it a lot, I don't know if you do the same thing I do, but I always get to the certain stage of, okay, it works, but I could tweak it just a little bit and make it just a little bit better. And I'll tweak it, but I'm tired of doing the iterative design, so I don't print it again. So if I post it, it's the one better than I have. So
True.
everything that's here is way better than the one I'm just getting by with. So I end up with all the really clunky stuff. And people in the videos will go, well, that doesn't fit quite right. I was like, yeah, I know. That's because I got tired of printing it over and over. I'm just going with it.
I'm the same
Now,
way.
Chris, one thing I do when I'm doing stuff like that, if there's one particular part of the design that I'm working on, like maybe the hole diameter for a screw hole, or how high something is, I will take that model, because I do all my stuff in Tinkercad, and I'll make a copy of it, and I'll just like chop everything off except for that one piece that I'm trying to perfect, and I'll print that one little piece so that I'm not printing the entire model, just to make sure something fits.
I might have done something wrong. Oh, I know what I did wrong. Easy way to duplicate my 3D printer. All right, I might need
Looks like he's trying to summon Captain Planet. By our powers combined, a new printer shall be here.
Okay, let me try that one more time.
Rip rap at its finest.
Wait, am I flipping? Uh-oh. Wait, which one's the? I think this one's the non-mirrored one. Let me try this one more time. Wait, not it. Okay. 4. Sorry if this might take a little bit.
Oh.
Trying to get this right.
Has anybody went through their fancy filament that they can't acquire anymore? Because I have, and I'm feeling the pain.
Which filament?
I had the polyalchemy elixirs, and I did some prints. Came out very nice. And now I am out of filament.
Hold on, should we go get you a violin, or do you have your preferred sad music song?
I need more filament. I need more. Make it so.
I know. We'll play the sad walking away song from the Incredible Hulk. You know, the piano song.
If you only knew what was going to happen, then you would have said, I'm going to just hold on to those for now.
I was kind of in the same boat. I've got lots of different kinds of filament, but the fancy stuff I don't keep because most of it's just, testing material or whatever. As long as it's accurate, I'm good with it. But Printed Solids started selling filamentum, which are some of the best colors that I like anyway. That's some of my favorite filament, so I ordered a bunch through them. So they kind of saved me on that one. But it's a little pricey for 750 rolls, but I still enjoy it.
I just got a shipment from Printed Solid. I ordered 3 spools of Jesse. So I've got the deep purple on the bottom. I've got a red, and I've got the orange, the mystery orange.
I ordered a whole bunch of Prusament filament in different colors, mostly more practical colors because it's kind of expensive. So I was like, no, I'm gonna get like a nice silver that's not the video game bright silver, like the QA did, but some grays and things like that. But
yeah, when you're seeing the Prusament unroll, and it's such a nice wind, once it's getting down to that final layer of winds, and then that's when little tears starts coming out.
Well, did you guys? It's one of their designers, I think. But I think he's on. He's probably more than definitely on the prusaprinters.org website. But he's done projects that after the spool's done and everything else, and all these different interesting projects you can do with them and everything. But he did one. It was I don't even. It's little discs, and it turns, and it just it's like a wave of colors and everything else.
Oh,
really
nice.
cool.
I saw that one. Yeah.
And I just stopped the conversation completely.
I do.
It's funny when you order stuff on Printed Solid and the order is complete. At the end of that whole process, they have a list of all of the things that you had in your cart that you ordered, and it was please give us feedback about why you chose this. So for the deep purple, it's well, I chose this. I bought this again because I was running out, and then for the red, it's well, that was a nice red. And then for that mystery orange, I'm to be honest, I was just padding out the cart to get to the free shipping. But I know 3D printing llama likes this stuff, so I'm going to get a spool. Give it a shot.
How did orange, I think in my mind and a couple of my friends' minds, sort of become the 3D printing color? When I envision a 3D printer, I envision it printing in orange. Why?
I think that's kind of courtesy of Prusa.
Yeah, I guess so. But
to me it is, because that's the black and orange printer.
That's true. But
a Mark III doesn't look the same if it's all black.
Yeah, that's true. I was actually thinking of replacing the orange with green. I already did it with one of the parts, but that was because I broke it. I don't know if you can see the green.
I'm sorry, you guys are talking about orange. I was like, man, I was wondering if never let the machine. Too bad he's not in right now, and he's on chat. He's like, #Team Orange.
Mike.
Yep.
It's funny you say that, because kind of when I first got started, I associated Elith Objects, that Lulzbot green, with 3D printing. I was like, oh, if it was that green octopus color, then that was what 3D printing was. Because Taz had the big green gear on it, and that's the ones you always saw in Micro Center stores, and you saw them sitting around. But then, orange kind of took over for sure.
Yeah. Oh, the error I got with trying to upload the uh shoot,
The thing on the thing.
yeah, the thing on firmware. I tried to upload the firmware to the Marlin board. I got timeout communicating with programmer. I'm not really used to using Arduinos. I usually use Raspberry Pis. What should I copy the whole thing and then just how do I? It just gave me like 10 timeouts and then timeout communicating with programmer.
Yeah, Mr. Vines, take that one.
I was gonna say, if it's saying timeout communicating with programmer, it's trying to talk to
the board, right?
Yeah, but it thinks that it's trying to upload it through like a USB ASP type programmer, and not through and not via USB. Hang on a second.
You're gonna get
to USB. I have it set to the correct one. It's USB. Sorry, dev/tty.usb serial-AC0254RZ. There's another one that's just the same. Like
if it's going through the serial interface onto that board, you should see something about AVR 5000 or something like that it can't connect. But if it's timing out with programmer, I'm not exactly sure what that points out. But Brian, where do you go in Mac? I'm totally Mac illiterate. Where do you go in Mac to see what the computer calls that device?
I am looking. Hang on a second. Okay, so you've got your board set on tools board.
Yeah.
You've got your port set on tools port.
Yeah.
And what is it set to on tools port?
Hold on. It's set to /dev/tty.usb. It's set to the one that I plugged it into. It only shows up when when it knows something's in. Like if I unplug it, this one here, which is what makes me think that is. I don't know why. I know it's not like a magic. Clearly, I'm doing something wrong. I just don't know what I'm doing wrong.
Welcome to my life.
When you're uploading that sketch, are you doing it from the sketch menu, or are you doing it from the button with the right facing arrow in the sketch window?
Yeah, I'm doing it in the sketch window.
Just for fun, pull down the sketch menu on the menu bar, and there's upload and there's upload using programmer. Just pick upload and see if it goes.
Wait, in the sketch on the top of my bar thing?
Yeah, like where it's Apple Arduino file edit sketch tools help.
Yeah.
Up on the menu bar.
Yeah, I see.
Pull down sketch.
Under sketch, I'm
sketch and then.
Huh?
Under sketch, just do upload instead of upload using programmer if it's there.
Wait, hold on. Let me share my screen. Am I doing? Because all I see under sketch is verify/compile, show sketch folder, add file, and import library.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Am I using an older version of? I might be using an old version of the Arduino thing. Hold on. And if that's the case, I don't want to open Chrome or Safari because last time I did that, it just completely froze everything. But yeah.
Yeah, on the Arduino menu, do about Arduino and see what version it is.
Oh, okay. Right, about Arduino. 1.0.6. What's the current version?
Ooh, that's ancient.
Oh.
That's really old. We're at like 1.8.12 is the current version, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. I should probably get the current version. Hopefully nothing crashes while I try to do this. Yeah, all my friends were connecting to my Minecraft server, and they were like, "Oh, why is it so bad?" And I checked. I did the internet speed test thing, and I have less than 1 megabit per second upload on that computer, which is incredibly bad for hosting a Minecraft server. Okay. All right. Okay, I'm gonna download the latest one. Latest version.
I had issues also with the Mac. I just grabbed my son's gaming laptop, Windows. Yeah, I did it through that because it was giving me connections issues as well.
All right. I recently just got a bunch of gearbox motors. These, like, you know,
Oh, those are fun.
they're really loud. I mean, I'm sure they're strong, but whenever I try and run, like I put, what is it? Yeah, 18 volts because I wired two 9-volt batteries serially. Anyways, I'll put like 18 volts into the motor board, and then I'll turn the motors on, and they'll sound like a drill. I don't know. It's weird. It's also ear piercing. All right, download. Okay, 1.8.12.
I'm sorry, there's a great comment on there. If Bryan Vines is calling it ancient, that says something. I'm sorry, I'm used to hanging out with Fotis and Wexer and everyone else, and they're like, wow, Shane's old. I'm like, yeah, I know. Before the dinosaurs, yeah, I know. Hey, Shane, what was it like when the Big Bang happened? Oh, it was great. It was very bright and loud. And it was awesome.
It was a time of great expansion.
I don't know. I keep on looking over. I'm waiting. Like, I'm so used to last time. I'm waiting for I'm like, where's Nightbot? Nightbot's not working. Nightbot's not telling me to give away something. What's wrong with this thing? And I kind of forgot I shut off Nightbot like 5 minutes after that stream was over. I took a lot of pleasure in doing that. Oh, man. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, I had to stretch.
So I have a question for Chris.
Ready?
I'm attempting to build a Voron 4XY. Have you heard of them?
Yes, I have heard of them. I don't have any experience with them, but yeah, somebody was telling me about it the other day, actually.
Yeah, I'm gonna use the specs that they have. They have a website on and everything, and it's all open source. And I'm gonna do the last one they got is a 2.2, but it's pretty awesome experience as far as building it, and it's true Core XY, and it turns pretty good.
Awesome.
Did you guys see that? It was last week's news, but it was pretty interesting. The guy who turned the CR10 S5 into a modified Core XY,
right.
Proper printing.
Yeah, proper printing.
But
that's interesting. I like that idea.
He also did a foldable Ender 3.
Yep.
Actually folds and he can carry it.
There's an extended interview with him on Joel Telling's channel, and it's about I think about 25 minutes and everything else. I was listening to a little bit of it before I had to do whatever I had to do. It was really interesting to see both of those concepts, the whole folding printer, because I mean like that would be this whole situation and everything else. It would be a folding printer would be great for like Pooch was talking about a rapid response thing and everything else where you can just quickly break it all down and move it to wherever it's needed.
He's an engineer. I think he designed all those parts himself.
Oh, I'm sure he did. But I think that would look really it's just it's interesting to see a different way of how a printer can move and print and do all the things it's supposed to do and all that stuff. So I'm just reading. I got distracted, which is not a difficult thing to do.
Squirrel.
I
Exactly.
recently got a bunch of kazoos, and
why I just got a shiver down my back. I'm like, just oh man.
I'm not. It's not anything like maker related. So maybe.
No. Please, I'm just picturing like a kazoo bazooka.
Was it green? Was it green? Did I see?
Yeah, it's green.
Okay.
But I just got a microphone. I recently got a microphone. Obviously, I had it last time, and I've just been tormenting my friends and like classmates in calls by turning up the gain on my microphone and speaking through the kazoo. It'll sound like absolute dog shit.
I'm sorry. I still love the New York Maker Fair when, because like for everyone here who's ever been to a Maker Fair, if you ever work a table, you always get the kids who are the very, very, interested in everything else. And that's awesome. and then you get the destroyers, the ones who come to your table and just wipe it all out in 5 seconds. And you're looking at the parents like, do you want to deal with this? And they're like just doing whatever. So I forget what year it was, but I went to New York Maker Faire and I was on Twitter and everything else. I'm like, I got the perfect thing. For the kids who destroy your tables, give them a whistle. And people are like, why? I'm like, because they're going to be so excited and they're going to be blowing that thing the entire day. It's going to drive the parents crazy. So I printed out about 100 of them before New York Maker Faire opened up. I ran around. I was giving them away to people and everything else. They were cracking up laughing. It was probably about a good 45 minutes after the fair started. You could hear like 5 or 6 whistles going off in the background. I dropped to the ground. I'm just grabbing my ribs. I'm laughing so much. Somebody thought I was having a seizure. I'm like, don't ask, just go away. And I'm just sitting there. Oh, it's the best thing ever.
Can you imagine them when they back in the car going home on the trip home?
Oh, of course. Give me that whistle. No. Blowing it and everything else.
And it's raised by like 60%.
Oh, yeah. And then like the next time I did it, I got those ultra loud whistle, designs, and maybe sent those around to a few people. Yeah, a bunch, yeah.
The V29 whistle from Thingiverse.
Yeah.
I haven't printed that one yet.
It works. It works very good. Well, at least so I'm told. I have no previous experience with
that. You'd be surprised. I printed over like 900 toy swags to give out at the Maker Fairs at the table. And you give them out. By the time the 2 days are gone, they're gone. So I'm going to include some whistles this time.
No, you have to save those for,
Those are the ones you give to the kids that are trying to tear everything up on the table.
Yeah.
Yeah, you always get about 10 of those.
It's like, I saved these special. This is for you.
I would say, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was about to change the topic, so go on.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was about to say, on the topic of Maker Fairs, it's weird how the bigger Maker Fairs, like New York 2019 Maker Faire was canceled due to certain things. And then the smaller Maker Fairs, like the more small town Maker Fairs, are getting closed due to coronavirus. I just find that that's happening at the same time kind of weird.
Yeah. I mean, well, we also had the East Coast Rep. Well, no, sorry. The Midwest Rep Festival definitely closed. Earth is still kind of, nothing's announced yet because it's way too far off to figure out if it's going to close or whatever. And then you got, like the smaller Maker Fairs and everything else. I mean, to me, one of my favorite ones, I don't know if you call it a small town, but Detroit was awesome because they have it right in the Henry Ford Museum. So you go around the whole museum and it's like multiple buildings, a huge outdoor campus, and you're just going around and then you see all the different makers and all the different disciplines scattered throughout the museum. And it's amazing. It's one of my favorite ones to go to.
Yeah, and Shane, I know I talked to you about I was going to try to get out to Detroit Maker Faire, and it was like a week out, but I was still going to try to get out there. And hindsight being 2020, I totally kicked myself that I didn't try harder to get out to that Maker Faire because now who knows what's going to happen, right? But that is a really cool. I've heard so many cool things about that museum there.
Yeah,
I got to get out there one of these days.
It's that's like my one where it's like. The World Maker Fairs, I'm like, yeah, okay. Detroit, yeah, I'm there. Sign me up. I'll go work it or whatever. It's just because it's a completely different vibe and everything else. And it was last year when I went there, they were, it was after they closed down Bay Area. And, I was talking to them, but for Detroit, they have nothing to worry about as far as, because like the attendance and everything else, it's not, if you go to New York or Bay Area, you're going to spend $15, $20, $25 on lunch for one person. And, you go there and everything's, the cost is a lot less, as far as the ticket amounts, the concessions and everything. It's just, for me, it's just a better overall experience that doesn't break the bank.
Yeah, I do like when they have the Maker Faire events at the science halls and stuff like that. Because you get twice the bang for your buck. got the actual science hall exhibits and then the actual makers. Pretty cool.
That's
There's
exactly
a
how Kansas
lull.
City Maker Fair is. Where ours is at Union Station, but our Union Station has kind of become the, we have all the science exhibits, and when they bring in the mummies and things like that, all of it's right there. So it's the same way for us. You get the Maker Fair, but then it's kind of an attraction for our downtown area. So being in Kansas City, it's small-ish. There's not a whole lot of people that come from different areas to be at this Maker Fair, but it's still pretty cool. I like going.
Out here in Jacksonville, Florida, when they had their first mini Maker Fair, me and Walter Country 3D, we went out, and it was nice. It was all the science stuff was there, and kids they were intermingling with the tables and science hall projects and stuff. It was very nice.
Sorry, I forgot. I keep on forgetting not to vape on camera.
You got called out in chat.
Yes.
And
the thing is, it's not even.
I don't want to open the YouTube thing because I think my computer will just blue screen if I try and open the other window again. So I'm just like, not gonna do that.
I just now remembered there would be a chat to this, so now I guess I should have been looking
on
at
it until I came on.
Oh no, I'm just because all of a sudden they're like put the vape down. I'm like, did I just vape? I'm like, why don't I remember 30 seconds ago? How many more hours of this do I have left? Oh my god.
Elijah, what is your jacket now?
Orange juice cereal.
Orange juice cereal.
It's not very apparent what it is from just the bottom half.
It looked kind of like Cheez-Its.
I would have guessed the Thing from Fantastic Four.
Yeah, it looked like a brick wall.
With Cheez-Its, I don't understand. They're selling the extra crispy stuff now. Why? If you see, sorry, I'm just a little bit confused. Who, unless you're like on a budget and you're getting the normal Cheez-Its, who would get the normal Cheez-Its over the extra crispy Cheez-Its? It's just the same, but like better.
It's exactly the same, only different.
I mean,
I always just buy the normal Cheez-Its.
Yeah.
The white cheddar Cheez-Its are pretty good.
I've never had them.
The question is, are you actually getting extra? Are you actually getting extra?
I just don't like thinking about what I'm going to eat.
Oh, I have a... Oh, they're called extra toasty. Never mind.
Oh.
Extra toasty? Nice.
I just found out about... I thought, like, the Lay's flavors, they're just, like, a couple cool novelty flavors here and there. No, they have a lot. The Do Me a Flavor Challenge spawned a lot, and they also have a lot. They're dill pickle Lay's. They sell them in, like, bulk. Dill pickle Lay's chips. What?
You know what I miss? They only did these for a little while, and it was a long time back. Wasabi Funyuns. Those were good.
What?
I thought I had wasabi peas. I was like, "Ooh, I'm getting hungry."
Yeah.
I mean,
the extra toasted ones, that might be a marketing thing for the ones they overbake.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Right?
There you go.
Like those people.
They used to be rejects, but they found a way to sell them.
There you go.
Like those snacks, like the small instant ramen, like small, the small pieces of instant ramen in a bag that they sell. I believe those started just like actual discarded factory bits on the floor. I'm not too sure though.
I was just gonna say that the minute you
Sweep
said
it up
that,
in a dustpan.
I was like, new and improved, broken potato chips. Who wants the whole chip when you can have just pieces of it?
Yeah.
Now with more shards.
Exactly.
No, more shards.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I've been printing a lot of like hospital PPE stuff, like face shields. But also, I've been printing these ear protector things. They're
Nice.
actually really good because a lot of people's ears get strained when having the mask on. So this holds the mask behind your head instead of on your ear.
I found a couple of those on Prusa printers. .org, and this one particularly it says this is the way. But I had a couple of friends who wanted them, so I printed them.
Yeah, I've been printing a bunch.
Also, these things were great. I printed these for my mom and her friends at where she lives at, and they can pick up bags and touch the elevator button.
Oh,
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, those are actually really useful. I should print some.
Who's
Plastic knuckles.
I don't. Yeah, right. Also, yeah, you got to protect yourself. Here you go.
Yeah, they're.
Get away from
brass-filled knuckles.
Protect the bagel.
6 feet back.
I'm sorry. I'm just picturing Ron's mom now, just like
give me that
punching
bagel
someone with that. Oh, excuse me, guys. I'm trying to wake up. It's not working.
Have some coffee.
Oh wait, let me.
So anybody else been spending money to keep themselves occupied? Because I've been getting a lot of packages.
I pre-ordered the Ender 3 V2 the instant it was available for pre-order.
There we go.
Now, the Ender 3 is a great machine to get people started, and I'm totally with that, and it prints well. I'm personally tired of it, but what's so? I haven't seen anything on the V2. I really don't look at printer reviews or anything like that. But what is the V2 going to give me? Why do I need one?
It's not going to give you anything because you're not going to buy it.
Well, I guarantee there will be one here. I just don't know when.
Basically, they added a screen. It's not touch screen. You still have to use the jog.
It's a color screen, though.
It's a color screen. They added most of the stuff where we add to it. Like they added a belt tensioner.
For X and Y.
For X and Y.
They added a toolbox on the front.
A toolbox on the front. Pretty much stuff that you print for your Ender 3. But now I guess I'm not sure that the belt tensioner is made out of metal or some sort of injection molded.
They look like they're injection molded plastic.
Injection molded. So. Yeah. You're ready for the Ender 33.
Yeah.
Oh, with their last live stream they had to show off all their printers, like everyone wanted to see the belt printer that they're coming out with, and the only thing they had was like images on the screen. That was it, and I'm like, yeah, okay, off. Because it was like that was like the only thing. I think a lot of people were just waiting to see that, and it wasn't even there. They were hyping it up.
Oh, they're doing the Ender 6 is a big Core XY, right?
Correct. That looks interesting. Yeah. Kind of like
and then the CR6. Yeah, and then the CR6 that they are doing on Kickstarter, I think primarily just to gauge interest on it, which is basically an Ender 3 with a touchscreen.
With a touchscreen.
And with a touchscreen and with an auto leveling system. And a little more portability in that it's got a handle built into the top and the spool holder kind of folds in like a side view mirror.
But wasn't I think it was Chuck Heller.
Silent board on everything now, right? I think, yeah.
Yes.
They're whatever they're doing for their silent board now, they're putting that on the whole new lineup.
But didn't Chuck Hellebuck came up with a video? It took whatever's coming out on the brand new Ender. He was showing you how you can do your own mods for it now on your current version of an Ender 3 is to swap it over to the version 2, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
That's a good wallpaper to remind us that Hannah put up that thermal runaway is very important. Make sure your thermal runaway is defined and activated.
That's perfect.
Great point.
I gotta turn this way so I can drink. Oh, smeared. Gotta turn this way so I can.
You can kind of match up the coffee with the one in the background.
That background perfectly describes what the entire world is going through.
I got into like a weird habit now, just because I'm watching really horrible movies, like B-rated and C-rated movies.
So Mystery Science Theater 3000, huh?
Worse. Because I'm like, oh yeah, I remember the movie The Warlock. I remember that from way back when. I watched it. I'm like, why did I watch this movie? It's so bad. Oh, they made a second one. Maybe that would be better. Yeah, no. Oh, it's the third one. Third time's it. Oh my god, that's so bad. Just turn it off. But what is it? There's one guy on YouTube. He does kind of like the Mystery Science Theater 3000 ripped on movies that he reviews. Brandon, I can't remember his whole name, but like a lot of the stuff that he reviews and everything else, I'll find it on Prime Video or Tubi or Vudu or something like that. I just end up watching him, and then I don't know, just been going crazy.
I haven't watched any Contagion, Outbreak movies, any of that stuff. I have not. Replayed any of that stuff.
When all this happened, I did notice. I can't remember which service it was on. I think it was Netflix. It was like, new this week, and it was a movie Outbreak, and I'm like, yeah, so you might want to remove that one.
Or change the ending.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah, with keeping myself occupied in this pandemic, I've been trying to get better at pretty much. Yeah, I've just been trying to get better at leveling my 3D printing beds. That's the first thing I've been trying to do. I think what's apparent is I'm not good at it because I tried to scrape something off my 3D printing bed earlier, with a paint knife, and it just completely broke. I taped it back together recently, but hold on, let me see if I can. Yeah, this part came off, and then it just shattered over here. So, yeah,
You have a flex plate, Elijah? Do you have a flex plate?
Yeah, on my Prusa, but not on my Flash Forge because I don't think they have the. I have a Prusa and a Flash Forge Finder that are currently operational.
You can. I worked with several people. I know Wham Bam have several plates out, but I did reach out to BuildTech, and they did customize a plate for me. It was less painful process than I thought. So if you need one done, you can reach out to them. They'll work with you.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm definitely printing too close to the bed though, because it takes a lot of force to get it off. But yeah, that might be a good idea.
Yeah, it's the times of scraping. It should be something of the past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to print some ABS for a work project, and I'm just sitting there. I'm like trying to, I'm like glue stick and all that stuff and blah blah. I'm like, oh man, way too many flashbacks of monster failed ABS prints, spaghetti from hell, and the lovely smell. I forgot about that lovely aroma.
That's funny you mentioned that, because that's exactly how I felt the other day. I was printing polycarbonate, but it's like, man, I remember when this was like every day, curl after curl, and it smells terrible, and we've been so spoiled over the last couple of years with all these different things that make it so much easier.
Oh, definitely, especially like manual bed leveling and everything else, because like I have a bunch of Prusas, blah, duh. And so I got a few other printers that I'm like, wait, I have to turn this with the paper? Who does this? Why is this like this? It's got to be a better way. Oh, yeah, I have a bunch of them in the back. Okay, I'll just go to that.
Yeah, on my KD200, the little turn things that you have to turn at the bottom, they're spiky. So I can't do it. I can't level it for too long, or my fingers will start to get indents and bleed or something.
Print the bigger ones.
No, but you need to bleed. If you don't bleed, you're not a real maker, because you need at least one project with your actual blood in there somewhere.
I'd like to keep all my blood inside my body.
You do a search, bed leveling knobs. You probably
I
can
actually
find
went and got a tetanus shot a couple months into my 3D printing hobby experiment, because I was like, it's inevitable. Eventually I'm going to cut myself or manage to scrape myself up somehow, and I don't want to be getting whatever results from not having a tetanus shot, which I know the last time I had one, before I went to my doctor and I was like, can I please get a tetanus shot? Had to have been when I was in high school, and my mom just dragged me to do it. So
Yeah, one thing I've done, and don't do this, is I change the depth of when I have to go get stitches. I go, well, that's not too bad.
I got some super glue. I can fix that.
I was going to say, I'm like, what's the millimeters, You know,
Uh,
1 to
I-
5 is super glue. Anything more is physical stitches.
I dropped something on my toe the other day, and I cracked my toenail. And at first I didn't even think about it. I just put the blue tape over.
Wait, let me check and see if this is deep enough to need stitches.
I was like, blue tape, that's fine. I just left it like that for a while.
I actually used to bowl a lot, bowling, and bowling. Sometimes your skin would peel and stuff from different tournaments. So we had this thing called second skin. And it's just like nail polish, and you put some strips.
Like brush on, yeah.
Yeah. So I've been using that, and that's I went an extra millimeter with that, so I'm good.
So you don't use the skinned hands of the previous people to sit there?
Especially now, no.
I do have to admit, the other day that I cut myself with a razor, and I thought, hey, it's a pretty clean cut. It should be okay. It'll be fine.
This is fine.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not close to my wrist. I'm okay.
Oh, I was at camp one day, and this person was cutting like towards themselves, and their wrist was at the bottom edge of the table. They're using an X-Acto knife to cut like foam, and it went down into their wrist.
Oh. That reminds me, I gotta add suture kit to my Amazon list.
I knew I forgot something.
I went and stocked up on everything before all this stuff hit, because I was like, who knows what people are going to think they need to buy up for coronavirus.
Yeah.
And you go to
Ron, when you get a suture kit, you're gonna have to put a little tag on it that says "Suit yourself."
Yeah, you go now. You got to wave your wound at the window. At the ER. No, that's not good enough.
Well, if they sit there and say, you need UV lights, everyone who's into resin printing, they're all set. They just have to figure out how to take the lights out of their curing station.
When I first heard that, I thought he was telling people to use artificial tanning booths. I was like, oh, that explains so much.
I heard that, and I'm like, because somebody showed me a TikTok video and everything else, and it was like some girl doing an impression. So I was I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm just sitting there like, no, that's old. That's got to be from like way back, because I heard people saying, oh yeah, stand out in the sunlight, it'll kill it. And then they're like, no, that's from today. I'm like, no, it's not. And like, yeah, it is. And they show me the video clip. I'm like, I really need to move back to Europe, because this is just there's no comedian who could write something that funny. You know what I mean? It doesn't. What? Yeah. I heard. You just go out. Get that sunlight inside your body and everything. I'm like, oh my God.
One of my last in-person errands before all this crazy stuff started and everything here started just closing was I went to the bank and I was just like, can I get some cash, like not as US dollars? I don't trust this. Like, I get like some Swiss francs and British pounds. This looks like a big mess.
The US dollar is going to plummet in value.
Well, yeah, now they're talking about negative interest rates, and I'm just like, yes, on paper that'll work, but I don't know if our political system is stable enough to like handle it. Like, who knows?
I have to thank the messiness of resin printing, because when I first got into it, I bought plenty of isopropyl alcohol. So I remember my wife telling me, what do you need all that for? Oh, and nitro. What do you need all that for? Oh, it's because you got to clean the print. You don't need that much. Now it's like, you still have that stuff? Yeah. Then I got that 91% at the time, which was the most you can get. So
I got cases of it.
Look at that. And I made my own hand sanitizer. I had the aloe vera gel and all that stuff, and just follow the
I was using that. I saw like the homemade instruction, make your own, and it was for vodka. I'm like, yes. And then they're like, yeah, no, that doesn't work. I'm like, it's okay, I can still use it. I'm so excited.
Spray it on your face.
It's not going to go to waste.
Put it in a little spritz bottle and just spritz it in your mouth.
Yeah, but then I was like, you know what? Just take the middleman off of it.
Like, it's just vodka.
If you could use it to clean your print bed, you.
Oh, wait. Hold on.
Yeah, true, right?
One for you, one for me.
I need some legal advice. Does this constitute corruption of a minor right now? Talking about this?
Probably not.
You can't corrupt me any more than I.
With hand sanitizer? How
I
does-
heard. We're talking about hand sanitizers. Crazy times indeed, my friends. Crazy times indeed. But you know, it's good to just to get away from it. If anything, you know, like just to. It's gonna sound sick and twisted, but to have a laugh over it. You know, everyone knows what's going on. You know, and the serious of it is, but sometimes you just gotta laugh.
Yeah, and you know what? It's a lot of
He's
people.
crying.
A lot of people suffering too, as far as their birthdays and stuff. You know, like my niece just had a birthday, and we all get together. So it was more like a FaceTime birthday. And even though she enjoyed it, it's not the same.
I want to see more videos of those Italian mayors of the towns. You know, when this
The
all
ones that are
first came
yelling
out.
at people to stay.
Yes, the one, especially the one who was like, I hear you want to have a graduation party. I'll send the cops over there with flamethrowers. I'm like, oh, you gotta live stream that. I'll pay to see that. Could you imagine you having your Sweet 16, the cops just coming and just drive away? That'd be so awesome.
Driving away, yelling, "This is fine" in Italian.
or happy birthday.
The like over FaceTime or Zoom birthday parties. Actually, this might sound weird. I actually kind of like them because I don't have to interact with people. I can just say hi, and then we can play a couple like games on maybe Jackbox party games or Skrill.io, and I can leave. It's not as awkward as a normal one.
Virtual
I don't
cake.
like the situation that brought them, you know, into wide appeal. You know, they're not that bad.
It definitely beats the. I mean, you're kind of too young to be in the category for this, but like, it definitely beats the dinner party, birthday party, where you've got like 12 people all trying to find chairs at a table for 10, and
musical,
you know, it takes an hour to get everyone seated and order food, and then you're sitting there for 45 minutes waiting, and you're starving, and then
trying to make
at the end of it, it's like a big argument about how you pay for everything, and
There's
yes,
something
good
with
times, good times.
There's something with a food allergy sitting in front of you, like, oh, I can't have that.
those things, I find those to be torturous.
There's a good comment in the chat, and it was brought up before, but this one says, it's from Kit. We can't corrupt Elijah. After all, there's a dead seagull hanging next to his head.
Oh.
And someone else was asking about.
Is that one of the duck bomb things?
Yeah, it is. Hold on.
How would you know that?
Yeah,
give it a squeeze.
One of those noise ducks, like. I got it. Yeah, I think I took it from some Mythbusters Jr. So, I mean, they let us take it. I didn't steal from them.
Yeah, you might want to. You know, this is being recorded.
There's a prop, prop shelf missing an item right now.
I just have it thumbtacked to my wall.
Okay.
All hail Emperor Penguin.
It wouldn't let me show that this is fine, Penguin.
Who is?
So have we all seen that duck bomb video that Adam Savage did? Or not?
I've heard of it. I'm sure I've seen it at some
I
point.
hope you have.
He took like 30 of those things and compressed them all in this enclosure, and then pulled a pin to let them all loose.
Okay, I think I've seen it. That's something I think I've seen, but I can't remember what it looked like.
So that was actually one of the props.
Oh God, the noise!
That may have been one of the
Looks like
props, then, right, Brian?
Yeah, looks like it. And there's just 30 of these things just all at once.
We need that sound effect so when a print is failing.
I will have to make that happen.
Because it's that painful when you have a print like this and then it fails. And that's because I lost power.
Oh.
Don't print during a thunderstorm, and crossing your fingers didn't help.
Or just make sure your printer has power recovery.
Yep, that's true too.
Wait, I don't work for them anymore.
Wait a minute.
That doesn't work. That doesn't work if the bed cools down and it's
that's
one
another
of those
issue.
beds that lets go.
That's why I use a hair dryer. Oh wait, never mind.
And it also prevent. Oh no.
Actually, I had nah, never mind. Boring work stuff.
Very short story.
Yeah, I have and it was over. That's it. Hold on, I'm just trying to look at next upcoming group and start getting ready for
Is
that.
the sound okay on these headphones? Can you guys hear me okay?
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Sounds good.
Okay. I grabbed my gaming headphones because I didn't have anything else, and I said, I hope this works.
Works fine
That's
for me.
Another thing, been online with my cousins who are too old to be online playing games, but they are. And we just been playing a lot of
games.
lot of Call of Duty stuff.
Yeah,
that's what it takes to get people to like not go out into crowded places and spread coronavirus. I say it's fine.
Yeah, I put up I feel I've already said this. I put up a Minecraft server, but the reason I did it was just to, you know, have a place to hang out with my friends. So yeah.
We have the weirdest clan name. Here's the clan name. Why try?
My coworkers have been doing all kinds of like little like after hours, like Zoom happy hours. It's like doing trivia, and they have like a video game thing that does trivia, and then you can like play trivia and then put up Zoom, and then people are just chatting.
I just snapped one of these. I was just playing with it.
No, you wasn't. You was testing it, and okay, that one failed.
Yeah, I was. That's what I was doing. I was testing it.
There you go.
I recently, well, I guess not recently. I built this kit for my C station. I might have brought it up last time. I can't remember. It's become one of my favorite soldering kits that I've ever built. It's a little video game machine that can like play Tetris or Snake or some other things.
I was gonna say that looks like a little Tetris machine.
Yeah, it's the most fun. Sorry, it's the most rewarding soldering kit I've ever done. I just had it on my desk whenever I'm bored. I just put it up and play Tetris. It's also really clicky, so like all the buttons are like
nice and tactile.
Yeah, they're satisfying to press.
We have that's one of the cool things out here by us. We have a electronics place that has all the breadboards and all the connections. Actually, Shane and I went over there. I showed them the place, and we said we got to get there and pick up some more stuff, some more equipment, and then all this happened. So like we should have got the stuff while we were there.
Yeah, that would be so handy to have some place where you could just go buy a handful of stuff.
I mean, you can LED arrays. You can. Shane went over there. He saw it. I mean, it's tucked in a corner somewhere, but it's just the most amazing stuff. You have a whole bunch of rooms you walk in with different stuff.
And we kept on talking to the owners so much. He was like, all right, guys, you need to go. I have work that I actually need to do, and you guys are talking my ear off for 45 minutes.
Matter of fact, his son wants to learn 3D printing. He bought a printer, and
okay.
He's an engineer, his son.
Last time I was at Micro Center. Oh, sorry, what? Did I cut someone off?
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, last time I was at like a big maker store like Micro Center. I bought a lot. It was a lot of impulse buying. And I was like, am I doing the wrong thing by doing this? Now that I'm stuck inside and I can't go anywhere, I'm so glad I did that. So I just have like a ton of needle nose pliers and stuff. Also, that's another thing. I bought a ton of needle nose pliers because whenever I'm working on a project and I lose track of them, I'll just like, okay, I have another. I'll just take it out. And eventually,
I'm the same way with those little blue-handled cutters. You get one free with every printer.
Oh, the flush,
Yeah, those little flush cutters.
If you don't have 10 pair, you won't be able to find one pair.
Luckily, right before all this happened,
Shane's collection is rivaling mine.
I'm sorry, what were you saying?
Oh.
Wow.
Nice.
There's no way I could find that many of those.
When you're
There's still more.
When you're constantly building stuff, you can't have enough of peanuts. So I had ordered a whole bunch, and they came just before the shipping nightmare started.
Oh yeah.
I got about 5 cases of those.
I have a bunch of random assortments of like M3, M4, M5 screws. You know, either the little cylinder hex bolt type or the kind of domed ones and stuff like that. And there are certain sizes of those that are just gone. And then you got a whole bunch of all these other sizes. I think that's the only way to figure out what size you need kind of going forward. It's like get one of those assortment kits, and whichever bin empties out first, buy like a 50 or 100 pack of that.
Oh.
That's actually, I mean, that's like almost over the top nerdy, but now I'm curious if we have the same bulk of the same size, because I have that same problem. But so now we need to get like 5 anonymous makers and ask them, what size M3 do you have the most of? I guarantee it's all the same one.
Yeah,
or the least of.
M4 and M5 is pretty much empty out quick on these.
Yeah.
One project I really want to do after I get everything else sorted, you know, they have those the bar robots, you know, press whatever and it'll make a drink and everything else.
Yeah.
Have that set up, have a bunch of other makers have that same setup, and then somehow figure it out where, you know, say if it was like me and Brian and Happy and Chris, and I'm like, oh yeah, guys, let's have a, you know, Long Island iced tea. I hit a button and all 4 machines are all linked up and they all pour the same drink. And I was like, hey, whatever. Of course, we'd probably just survive maybe 2 or 3 drinks over that.
Yeah.
That depends on the
Really
Wi-Fi, doesn't it?
It gets stuck in a loop and it just keeps on pouring. I gotta save it. Waste not, want not. No, but that's something I would really like to do. Just
I saw them in
see if it can
Orlando
be
Maker
done.
Fair. They were running around, which was pretty cool.
We need as 3D printers and makers, we need to build one of those. We need to come up with our own drink recipes. You know, make some horrible concoction and call it like the bed cleaner or something.
Right. give it all G commands, M commands, right?
Yeah, and no one's admitting it, but in the back of our heads, we're like, that's okay. I could probably mix this and this, and it should work out.
How about, yeah, just a drink with a bunch of laxatives in it that you give to, like, actually, maybe I shouldn't do that.
Okay, if we ever do this project, Elijah is not allowed to mix any drinks.
Like, you will need a change of pants after
I don't think you want to drinks either.
We're going to default the command to Elijah to just Arnold Palmer's. That's it.
There you go.
To switch the topic.
For those that don't know, that's like half iced tea and half lemonade. So
yeah, on the topic of like more PG drinks, do you drink like sodas like by Coca-Cola Corporation?
Very rarely.
I have an important question though, so this is gonna relate to something. Do you like Coke Zero or Diet Coke better?
Coke Zero, but before they changed the formula, they recently changed it and called it Coke Zero Sugar.
Yeah,
and when they did that, it got worse.
I don't really drink a lot of that kind of stuff. I drink a lot of fizzy water.
Diet Coke is horrible.
Excuse me?
I'm
mostly Diet Coke is horrible.
Your opinion is incorrect.
My mom just
My opinion is valid, and it applies to you.
Oh,
mostly strawberry tea, peach tea, iced teas. They're pretty good. I mean, I try to stick away from the sugary stuff.
Mostly, I drink water and coffee.
Water,
coffee.
Occasionally, I'll have a canned beverage, and I have a nice holder for it. So
nice.
My disappointment is a
Nice
measure
little
on my day.
Huh. That's handy.
So
was that Tinkercad, Brian?
Gar. Actually, the modifications that I did to it were in Tinkercad, but I found the file on Thingiverse. The original has like a kind of a dragon embossed on there, and I wanted to be able to put like a logo. And the best I could do was a flat logo, so I kind of raised that up so that it was a cylinder, and then added an inset so I could print something and kind of glue in there. So
yeah. All right. I think my mom wants me to go eat lunch. So
yeah, I think our time slot is coming to an end.
Yeah, I think our time is kind of running.
You don't have to leave now. I'm not kicking you out the door.
Actually, I think I can stay for a little bit more.
Well, I mean, no. If your mom's calling you,
it's
no.
already not like
I'm not going to incur the wrath of your mom.
No, she's not saying come eat lunch. It's hot. It's already been put in the fridge. So, yeah.
Just say Uncle Shane told me I could stay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. The last 1440 stream, Elijah basically, Zoom bombed the stream and everything else in his T-Rex outfit and everything else. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, dude, I don't know. Is your mom going to get mad at you? Wait, is your mom going to get mad at me for this? Because I'm like, I don't want to tick off your mom, man. I know her. She's lovely, sweet, lovely lady, but I don't want to incur her wrath.
Cities will crumble.
My mom tweets, so I have to be careful.
I'm sorry?
I said my mom tweets, so I have to be careful.
Yeah, I should probably go. All right.
Okay. Well, a lot. Wow, that was quick.
No, I'm still here.
Okay. I was just trying to say, hey, thanks for coming on. And
Elijah,
I gotta go. Boom.
You gotta do that thing you did last time where you knocked the webcam over.
Oh yeah. Hold on. Well, that was more of a high five.
I'm just like, I'm not responsible for this.
Oh no, I accidentally turned off my monitor. All right. Bye.
Bye.
There you go.
Yeah.
I wonder why his microphone is broken now.
Yeah.
Next time we have to sync that with the duck.
Hopefully I can see you later.
Firing the Kazuka.
All right.
And on that note, I need to go into.
Yeah, nice seeing all you guys on the live stream.
Likewise, Elijah.
Yeah.
Bye, Elijah.
Bye.
Bye.
And bye, everybody else. Goodbye, 3D printing friends.
Bye.
So can I do the big switch thing
I'll be
where I do
printing
this?
some of those trash cans.
You need a bad dad joke to go out on.
Yes.
I know you're
got
old.
nothing.
It's going to take you a while.
Yeah. No. I got nothing. Sorry.
All right, man.
Put me under the gun.
Don't buy nothing.
All right.
Goodbye, disappointment. Ooh.
Sorry. Wait. Got to get the dialogue box up. Here we go. Now it's.
So that's what it's like when people have lives and other things to do. They just go because I don't know about that. I'm here. I'm stuck for 24 hours. So let's see. Do you guys want to talk to someone who just started to make her way into the 3D printing community? She's been online under her Twitter handle is Geeky Faye. You guys seen her stuff?
Yeah.
She's done some really cool prints, and I told her that she can only come on unless she has the Kill la Kill models. She is on deck with also another popular member of the community. He goes by the name of Mr. Flotastic. He's coming on to join us. And for both Chris and Happy, if you guys want to stick around, you're more than welcome to. Since there's some free time, if you want to, talk and say hi or whatever you want to do, I'm not putting you guys on the spot.
No, I figured I'd hang out, say hi to the next crew, and then jump out and let you guys go.
Yeah, okay. All right, so we will bring in Faye first. Ladies first. Because if I didn't do that, I could just picture my mom smacking me upside the head. Hey, Faye. Your audio is connecting. Give it a minute.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, success. Hi.
Okay, and we will bring in the one and only Mr. Flotastic. Oh my God.
Hey.
There you go, sir. How are you? Give it a minute. Your audio will connect. Your audio is now connected, sir. How are you?
Okay, I got you on 2 screens.
Oh.
Wait, if you got me on 2 screens, God, you might want to change that.
But
One screen will break.
I haven't joined in the YouTube live, so yeah, okay.
Okay, yeah, it's best off just to either just
Now, there you
pause or
go.
close the YouTube stream
Yeah.
because there's a delay and everything else.
Okay, I'm going to keep it open because I want to check the chat.
Yep, yeah, that's no problem.
I will want
I
to
didn't even think about the chat.
some things.
Yep. The way I got it, I popped the chat out so it's in a separate window. I just closed the video stream so that way it's.
How do you do that?
Okay, that's cool.
On the chat side, the 3 dots top right hand corner.